This is Happily Holistic, where we dive deeply into everything health and wellness, with a big dash of spirituality and a sprinkle of business. We spotlight the uplifting and the positive, and share the secret ways top wellness authors and celebrities get inspired, stay healthy, and enjoy this beautiful life. I'm your host, Amy Lee Mercury, best-selling author of 15 books and holistic health expert for the last 19 years. I can't wait to get happily holistic with you today. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Happily Holistic. I'm so excited today because we have Talia Pollock with us. Hi, Talia.
Hey!
Yay! So Talia is an author, a speaker, a health and empowerment coach, a TV personality, a comedian, a storyteller, an award-winning podcast host, Amy Lee
and
Mercury,
the proud founder
and I'm a
of the
medical
nationally
intuitive
celebrated
with
wellness
20 years of
platform,
experience.
Party of My Plants,
I've written
which
15
empowers
books
ambitious humans
on health
worldwide
and wellness
to take control of their wellness
If you've had a
without
medical
compromising
intuitive
their
session
happiness.
with me, you
And
know that
Talia
the
wrote the
thoughts and
book
emotions
Party
within
in
you, what
Your
has been passed
Plants,
down from your
I love.
ancestors,
You can kind of see it
and
behind her
everything
on
that surrounds
her
you
right, so
can
our left.
impact your well-being.
And we're going to talk to Talia
In
about
this
her book and lots of
podcast,
things.
we touch on my favorite
Talia's a
ways
sought
for you
after
to improve
speaker
your
who
health
brings high
and feel
energy and
more joy.
inspiration to
We
colleges,
dive
conferences,
deeply
and
into
companies
everything health
nationwide.
and wellness,
Her
with a
refreshingly
big dash
spunky
of
and approachable
spirituality
lifestyle
and a
advice
sprinkle of
has been
business.
featured
We
repeatedly on the
spotlight the
Dr. Oz
uplifting
Show,
and the
Good Morning
positive,
America,
and
Forbes,
share the
and
secret ways
NPR, the
top
Huffington
wellness
Post,
authors and
Bustle,
celebrities
Thrillist,
get
BuzzFeed,
inspired,
and
stay
Success
healthy,
Magazine.
and enjoy
Her
this
first book,
beautiful
Party
life.
in Your Plants,
I can't
100
wait
plus
to get
plant-based
happily
recipes
holistic with
and
you
problem-solving
today.
strategies to help you eat healthier without hating your life, just hit kitchen counters and nightstands and was an instant bestseller. What a fun bio you have, Talia.
Thank you.
I love it.
It's not short, but it's fun.
There's a lot to convey. You have a lot going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we need to share all that. So Talia and I met in Brooklyn at Powerhouse Arena in, was that 2017 maybe?
I think so.
I think it was 2017.
That sounds about right. It was before I signed my book deal, so that would be right.
Yeah,
yes.
I think so.
Feels
And
like
I was
a million years ago now.
It was a long time ago. It feels like a lot's happened since then. I was in town promoting, I think, the Compassion Revolution.
Yes.
And our mutual friend and soul sister, Shannon Kaiser, was promoting the self-love experiment.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to meet, which was really awesome.
Yeah. That was a lovely night. A cute bookstore.
I love that store.
Great. Yeah.
No, that was a cute bookstore. I liked that event. That was really a fun event. I think we had I think the girls from Soul Camp were there, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Allie and
Michelle.
Yeah.
Yes. That was fun.
They're really cool. So we had a nice time.
Yeah.
And here we are, 3 years later. And
you were on my podcast.
I was on your podcast, yes. A lot's happened, hasn't it?
Uh-huh.
So when did Party in Your Plants come out? This year?
Yeah, in April, right?
In April.
Very beginning of the pandemic. So that was interesting. My Good Morning America segment, you had one come out in April as well?
I had 3 come out in April. A little bit of meditation guided journal, a little bit of mindfulness guided journal, and a little bit of chakras guided journal. All came out in April.
Those are all great topics for what we're dealing with right now.
We do need that. Yes.
Everyone's journaling right now. So that's
and they're needing stress relief. So yeah, what happened with your Good Morning America segment?
Well, it was like the first week of virtual TV. So it was quite a hoot.
Yes.
Yeah.
How did you do a demo? I need to watch it. How did you do a demo?
My husband had my iPad.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was so funny because I could only hear them, the TV producers, in my ear. And he couldn't.
I just did one of those.
Oh, where it's like
no video, just audio. It's so weird.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I was just like talking to the world. He was holding the iPad and I could hear in my ear. And then, but he had no idea we were wrapping up the segment.
Oh,
He had
no.
choreographed like, okay, I'm going to cook on the stove and then I'm going to plate my dish and move over here and get the final shot.
Oh my
He had
God.
no idea that like I knew it was obvious. She's like, okay, well, thank you so much. I'm like,
Yes.
oh my God. So I literally had to tell him like, okay, now why don't you come over and show everybody?
You had to tell him.
Like, I had to like give him direction.
Wow.
I dropped my spoon as I was cooking, my like wooden spoon. It was,
Wow.
you know, no, I don't know. It was a hoot. It was fun.
I think people enjoy the unscripted aspect. And I, especially when things were starting and we were seeing these virtual things, it was kind of neat to see hosts and guests like fumble in an endearing way, right?
Okay. Yeah.
It made it more relatable.
Yeah. It was fun. It was interesting.
Where can we watch that? Is that available online?
It's on my website, on the homepage, of course.
Tell us the name.
Partyandmyplants.com.
Partyandmyplants.com. So if I'm gonna watch it after, because I'm kind of intrigued to see, because it's kind of a challenge too as an author with this virtual format to do demos. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Like, I've been struggling with that around how would I do a demo? Like, so far I've just done interviews because I haven't been sure how to do a demo. That's a good idea though. Someone holding the iPad.
Yeah. Or, I mean, I've done a bunch with just the laptop open and I'm just cooking or preparing food in front of it.
And it's working
a lot. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Yay. So, what inspired you to write? I know Party in Your Plants was a result of your Party in My Plants kind of endeavor, but what inspired you to write it, but also to just get into this genre, and where did that come from for you?
Well, I discovered the plants when I was in an 8-year-long struggle with my digestion. And as we know, our immunities in our digestion, and thus if that's out of whack, it can really affect our whole bodies. Yeah. We also know that when our stomach hurts, it's hard to have confidence. It's hard to have energy. It's just like hard to do life. Yeah. And so I had 8 years of really trying to figure out like why I didn't feel well. And all the roads led me to the plants. And I walked in one day to a restaurant that was recommended to me to get this coconut smoothie that someone had said I have to try. Yeah. I ordered it and they gave it to me, and it was like this white, creamy, frothy, like raw coconut smoothie. I didn't know what this was. So I said, I'm so sorry, I can't do dairy. Because at the time, like dairy, I knew that at least upset my stomach. Yeah. And they were like, sweetie, this is a vegan restaurant. And I'm like, I have no idea what that word means.
Oh, wow.
This was before.
When was this?
This was 2008.
It was a while ago.
This was like before it was cool or like popular or like mainstream.
Yes.
Remotely. So I'm like, okay. So I took the smoothie and I drank it. And for the first time in like 8 years, I ate something that made me feel good. Yeah. So I was like, what is this plants thing? What is vegan? So there was no blogs. There was no Instagram.
I know.
The dark
I was vegan before.
Oh my God.
All of that was available. And it was like, when occasionally something vegan would come on the market, it would be like a revelation.
Totally. And that's kind of what led me to have to learn, I'm sure, how to cook.
Yes. That's the only time I cooked was when I was vegan.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, I didn't grow up really cooking all that much. I mean, I baked a lot and we ate pretty simply growing up, medium healthfully, not terribly, but like simply. And so I went to culinary school after graduating from college. Ooh. And in college, I studied television writing and humor writing. Then I went to culinary school.
That makes a lot of sense.
Exactly.
I get it now.
Did my health coaching, learned how to help people be well. And then I decided to merge the two. And that's really, and I just didn't want anyone else to ever struggle the way I did with trying to figure out how to make plants taste good and how to do it in a way that doesn't compromise your happiness and your social life and your like level of normalcy in the world.
Yes. I love that. Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I'm so glad to hear that. We've known each other for a while, but I actually didn't know this about you.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of a neat thing to hear, that origin story.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, and now, I mean, gosh, you have your podcast and your platform's grown, and now you have your book, and what's next? Do you know yet?
Well, yeah, because the world has really caught up to the whole healthy eating thing, and it's now as mainstream as can be, really. I'm like, all right, I think my work there is done. So I'm really excited to help people now get their minds on straight.
Yes.
And really start utilizing this thing up here to go live your best life. Because I think the whole purpose of eating the plants, and I'm not promoting veganism, I'm not even vegan anymore myself, I'm pescatarian, if you will, but the whole point of eating plants is to feel good, so you can have energy to go live your best life.
Yes.
It's not to just cook plants and live in your kitchen all the live long day.
Yeah.
In my opinion, like, it's to do the things, feel good, and then go out there and live your best life. And so now I want to help people deal with what's up here to go out there and live their best life.
I love that. I'm so excited to see what comes next for you now.
Me too.
That's like a really fun teaser for us, like, to hear that. And I love hearing that you have this comedy background, which makes sense, because I know prior to the pandemic you were doing tons of speaking.
Yeah.
So I can imagine how that all just fit together so nicely.
Hey there, it's Amy Lee Mercury. People have been asking what to expect when you book a medical intuitive session with me. Whether you have had a medical intuitive session before or are completely new to the idea, working with a medical intuitive may be right for you if you are looking to uncover the root cause of one or more mild to moderate health concerns. Working with me is not designed to take the place of seeing an integrative doctor or your chosen health practitioner. The way a session begins is you get to share your questions and concerns. After that, I say an opening invocation, which is adapted from something shared with me by my late medicine teacher about 25 years ago. It invites your highest vibrational spirit guides to participate in the session. These may be ancestors, angelic guides, or other benevolent non-physical beings. After the invocation, I let you know which guides want to talk with you and what they have to say. We address your questions and concerns and find resolutions and answers. If there are health issues, we find the root causes of the issues. To learn more about my medical intuitive work, check out the Work With Me page on amyleemercury.com.
And for those of you guys who are meeting Talia, through the podcast, you're going to love, even her Instagram and just everything she offers is always so uplifting and funny. Like, I laugh out loud at your videos and your captions and things like that. Like, it's really, fun to follow you, and it makes so much.
Yeah. Well, I just think that levity and humor is an equalizer. It's a de-stressor.
It is.
I mean, it's a fantastic way to go through life with that lighthearted, let's not take it too seriously approach. And that was the approach that I wanted to bring to this wellness stuff that a lot of people take way too seriously. And like white knuckling your kale and like stressing about your food, that stress is worse for you than just eating a burger. Come on now.
Exactly.
So I'm just trying to help people and laughter, I think, is similar to meditation. It's like moving energy through you. It's like connecting to your body. It's like letting it go. So I'm just, I started with stand-up, and I realized that instead of just having people laugh in their seats at my jokes, I want people to get out of their seats and go do something different.
Do something positive.
Transform. And comedy doesn't really have that dynamic.
Right.
people just laugh and then like go back to their regular.
It's entertainment, sure.
Mhm. And so that's what led me to decide to use my secret weapon for good.
It is. That's exactly what you're doing. You're like the superhero of laughter.
Thanks.
You're a little comic book character flying around, sprinkling laughter, but also, healthy eating, and now like probably what you're going to share around the mental aspects of living the life of your dreams, which I mean, we're all moving towards that. And I think one of the things that the pandemic has probably brought into focus for some people is what does have meaning and what's important, right? And so I think that's bringing us around to your offerings even more too.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone right now is like, what is my life? Do I have a job? What is my job? Do I like my job? Do I like my house? What is this house that I'm now trapped in? Do I like my friends?
Exactly.
Do I miss my friends? Do I, like myself? Do I feel good? Do I like my body? Like, I think everyone is just, this is a moment to pause, more than a moment. This is a long period, a long moment to pause and, just reevaluate everything and realign ourselves with what we really want to be doing and who we want to be. And so I think there's a huge movement happening, a huge shift, which is a silver lining-ish.
Yeah, I do too. And I think people like you coming in and making us laugh and bringing us these actionable tips, whether it's healthy eating or, all of these different things, are just, little upticks in the positivity level.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. So for our listeners, if you were going to share, I don't know if there's like a favorite recipe that's ultra simple you could just describe for us, or maybe like a couple tips about like foods we can add really easily to our diet that would give us this like nutritious powerhouse punch. What do you think?
Well, right now I'm eating my pumpkin bread from the book with a little bit of peanut butter, chia seeds, and banana on top. So I have to shout that out, especially right now. Yeah.
Wow.
I think it's from page 150 or 152 of the book. So highly recommend that. And I mean, all the recipes in the book and everything that I believe in is just taking really basic, mainstream, everyday plants. And cooking with those. So a lot of people have found that like they don't even really have to go buy anything out of the norm of what they already have. There's lots of sweet potato, saucy kind of things. And, I make a pesto with spinach. So you don't even taste the spinach, but like it's in there. So it's upping,
and you like Vitamix it?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that if I were to give a big tip, it's that really focus on the sauces and like lubricants, if you will. I think that a good pesto, a good cheesy, nutritional yeast cheesy sauce, dressing, like this stuff is what takes just basic plants up many notches. And it's also how you can make, like chickpea mac and cheese. I mean, like a chickpea pasta or any like basic plants. It just tastes really good.
I love that.
So I would just really like get some sauces that you love, memorize the flow, get it down, and just make on repeat. Always have them in your fridge.
I love this. Like I want to do that.
Yeah, we had like a cheesy sauce from my book. It's called my like liquid gold sauce. And
I think that's the one I want to make. I like the vegan cheese stuff.
It's like cashews and nutritional yeast and all these flavors. And we got home from a road trip and we were tired. And I just went into the freezer and I had broccoli rice already frozen, defrosted that, added leftover cheese sauce. We added a protein and it was like dinner.
Yes.
It really makes it a lot easier.
And it does take it to the next level where you're excited. Like I find here, especially a lot of times I'm cooking for one and I'm kind of like, do I really want to take the time to make a bunch of stuff? I'll go out to the vegan restaurant as opposed to if I had those sauces made, you know, I have all the ingredients.
Totally. I mean, I personally don't
yeah.
even love cooking. I do it out of the necessity. I do it because I want to feel good.
Yeah.
And so I don't love spending a lot of time in my kitchen. So when I have a sauce, it's, I mean, it makes a world of a difference for me.
It does.
So
it does. It makes you excited to eat those ingredients in the fridge, specifically the plants, you know?
Totally.
I would think I might put your cheesy sauce on zucchini noodles.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't that be good?
Yeah.
With some kind of, same thing, some kind of a protein, whether it's like a
lentils
plant-based.
or I did a salmon burger.
Yeah.
You can do anything.
Yes.
Into chicken, so whatever.
Love it. Yeah. Yay. Well, we ran out of time quickly because we had a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you our wrap-up question, which is, if you could send a message back in time, one thing, to your 16-year-old self, what would it be?
It's a random number, very specific.
I know.
So the year I got my driver's license.
Yes.
Talia, what would you want to know as you're driving there with your permit?
I know.
Try not to mailbox your mom.
I know.
Okay, I'm driving. I would say,
yes,
Talia, if you just stay on the road of you, like great things are going to happen. You know, don't turn off into the road of like trying to fit in. Don't swerve into like, I think I should do this. But I don't want to. Just stay on your road. And your greatest dreams and fulfillment will happen. And that's what I would tell her.
I love that.
While driving.
I love that. And I think that's advice that we can all take even now, however many years after 16 we are. Keep, you know, staying in that authentic flow of who you are, because that's part of your life's purpose, and it lets whatever is meant to be born into your life happen, right?
Yeah. And sometimes it takes a lot of courage, you know, to not turn into like, oh, like they're all doing this, or like I should do this, but like, gotta have that courage, that baby boldness is what I call it, to like stay your road, stay your lane.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Yay. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yay. Yay. And thank you all for listening to Happily Holistic. I hope you have an amazing day. Check out Talia's website, partyinmyplants.com. Find Talia on Instagram at I am Talia Pollock. Do you want to spell Pollock for us?
Like the fish and the painter. Pollock.
O-C-K. I am Talia Pollock. Follow her. She's hilarious. Thank you for listening and have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to Happily Holistic with me, Amy Lee Mercury. You can find out more about the show on amyleemercury.com on the podcast page. Please stop by your favorite social platform and leave me a comment. I'd love to hear how you liked today's show and what topics you'd like me to cover in the future. Come find me on Instagram and Facebook at amyleemercury.com. If you would like to see what a medical intuitive session with me is all about, hop on over to the Work With Me page on amyleemercury.com. Until next time, stay happily holistic.